And I'm going to show you really quick. I'm going to show, we're almost out of time. We're going to do our drawings here in just a sec. But I'm going to tell you just really quick about I have, these are not the right colors because I don't have my right colors in yet, but this is the lunch it container. And then I also have sandwich keepers. These sandwich keepers from my kitchen. But the lunch it container, this is from my display that I use for my shop, right? So the lunch it containers, right? So a lot of times when we think about lunch containers, snacks, sandwich keepers, lunchettes, things like that, we think about back to school. All right. If you start talking about back to school right now, listen, I know that the stores have the stuff in but that doesn't mean that the parents want to see it on social media. Okay. So to keep from turning them off and having them be like, oh my gosh, like this lady needs to stop. I don't even have a suntan yet, and she's telling me about back to school. So I'm going to tell you, this is how I talk about these when I'm demonstrating these, right? So this is our little lunch it container. This is our little divided dish, right? And so this is perfect for packing for your lunch, packing for snacks, food on the go. Whenever we are going to, whenever we're going to the zoo, or if we're going to a sporting event or things like that, I'm always packing food for the kids and for myself, quite honestly, because I don't want to go through drive-through. Drive-throughs are really expensive. I mean, they're practically as expensive as going to a restaurant these days if you want to feed your family, right? So I would rather go to a restaurant when I have time as a fun treat and a reward, not because I didn't think ahead and not because we're just desperately hungry, right? And so that's why I always try to be prepared with this. So I want you to think of this almost like a DIY Lunchable, right? So this is kind of like a DIY Lunchable. So some schools, right? So some schools won't allow nuts in the school. So you some of the prepackaged things you can't even take into some schools. But the thing that's nice about this is if you have picky eaters like mine, my kids always wanted these Lunchable things, right? But they usually only wanted like one thing in there, and it was usually the dessert, right? And then they would leave some of the other things. And I'm like, this is too expensive for you to throw half the food away. I'm like, ain't happening, right? So so it's great to have your own because everybody likes their own like meat or cheese or crackers, right? So our family, we like Townhouse crackers. Some people like Ritz, right? So you can put your Townhouse crackers in here and you can put, some cheddar cheese or American cheese there or mozzarella cheese, whatever it is that whoever it is that's getting this is going to love. And then whatever type of meat, maybe they like salami, maybe they like bologna, maybe they like whatever, right? And so you can put that in here too. So you can make your own Lunchable, but you can also, if you're somebody who, you really are paying attention, you're really clean eating, so you want to buy, the really clean ingredient crackers, and you want to make sure that the meats that you have are casein free and they're nitrate free. You can absolutely do that. Maybe you have dairy free cheese that you want to put in there, right? This is perfect for that. But you know what else this is great for? Do you ever see those little power bowls or those little power packs? And they're protein power packs, right? They sell them in the coffee shops and things like that. Oh my gosh. First off, that's so expensive, and you can do that yourself, and you probably have all those ingredients at home because you probably snack on them, right? We're talking about nuts. We're talking about maybe like chickpeas and things like that. We're talking about a boiled egg, right? You can absolutely do that. You can load this up for a little protein snack for you in the afternoon before you crash, and you can have this ready to go. And again, you can address food allergies, right? So if you need this to be nut free, you can make it nut free. If you need it gluten free, you can make it gluten free. If you need it dye free, you can make it dye free, right? And so that's the thing that's so nice about these is that you can do it yourself, right? And so you can make it your own, but you're going to save a ton of money just by buying a couple of these, and you can load these up. They can already be preloaded in the fridge, ready to go to be able to grab and go right out the door, just like you would with those pre-bought, pre-packaged packs, right? So you can do the same thing with these, all right? So these are fantastic to be able to make sure you get packed up so that way you can eat it as you're leaving the ballpark, or you can eat it when you get back to the car before you drive home from the zoo or whatever it is, right? So I love these for that, and also the kiddos that don't like their food to touch. It's kind of perfect for that too. All right, so we have those. Now the sandwich keepers, oh my gosh, sandwich, I cannot say enough good things about sandwich keepers. At one point, I wish I was kidding when I say I had 20, okay? Because our kids, they don't buy lunch, okay? And at first it started because I was like, that is really expensive. I'm not paying for that. Then they tried to buy lunch and they're like, it's not enough food. And I'm just like, they're like, can I buy two? And I'm like, no, now we're paying double for this food. I was like, absolutely not. Then it got to the point that I was like, do you want to buy lunch? And they were like, no, because I waste my whole half my lunch standing in line. I want to hang with my friends. I was like, okay, fine by me. Right. But the reason why we had so many is because we had three kids in school and my middle was our athlete, right? So she would have things after school. So a lot of times when she left the house, she had three meals packed. And so she had a lot of these. And we use them for sandwiches, of course. I mean, it's called a sandwich keeper. That's kind of a given, right? But you use it for sandwiches so your sandwiches don't get smashed and all that kind of good stuff. But you use it for anything you don't want to be smashed. So anytime we're going to a sporting event or anything like that, we're going to like an all-day meet or match or whatever type of event, because we've gone to all of them, right? We go to those things. We will load these bad boys up. They will be loaded up with protein bars, with packs of crackers, bags of chips, like whatever it is we don't want to be crushed are going to be found in these. Now, those are all the ways that you can use them on the go, but I will tell you, and this is just kind of my little secret. I don't tell everybody this, but I'm going to tell you guys this. So the other thing that we use these for is cheese. I use them for cheese. So I use them for block cheese, and they keep my block cheese actually fresh for a really long time. So if you buy block cheese, like the little 8-ounce blocks when they're like on sale, because that's what I do, when you buy those and you just slice off a couple pieces for, to have the little cheese and crackers and a little charcuterie board for yourself, because that's my favorite snack, right? Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I will cut off a couple pieces and then it fits perfectly in here because your cheese needs a little bit of breathing, right? A little bit of air. And these are not completely airtight, just so you know, or liquid tight, just so you know. And that's exactly what your cheese needs. So if you see these, if you come to my house and you see these in the fridge, they got cheese in them. They got cheese in them. Two of those blocks will actually fit side by side. And now we have had cheese keepers over in the past, right? We don't have any currently. And so that's why this is perfect. And you can tell people that they can use it for their cheese and it keeps it for a long time. You'd be surprised how long it keeps it. You use them for that too? Oh, great minds, my friend. So yeah, so many things that you can use these for besides talking about back to school. We can talk about back to school in a month, but right now, talk about them, talk to your customers about being prepared for snacks, for those hangry moments, for all of that kind of good stuff. I'll tell you, just because Pam, I see Callie's face in my screen. So whenever I would work shows with Callie, she would always have usually it was a side by side, but it like a divided type of a dish, right? With her cheese and crackers. And it always made me laugh. But now I'm totally the same way, Callie. That's my favorite thing to pack up in these. All right, so those are just a couple fun little tips of ways that you can kind of talk about these on the go things without going to the BTS, okay? Because we're not quite there yet, because the parents are gonna like throttle you if you go that route right now, I'm telling you. All right, so you can do that in a month, we can go that direction, but right now, just talk about on the go and packing for summer activities, all that kind of good stuff, and you can tie it in later.